Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another collective read. We're going to get a little bit of sagey sage going. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and open up a sliding glass door so we don't get smoked out here. And today we're going to read a little bit about our ancestors. I feel led to talk about our ancestors a little bit. So this is once again for the collective reading. If you are a repeat offender, I want to thank you so much for stopping in once again. I heard make your presence known. Okay, messages are coming through pretty quick already. So we're going to find out exactly what it's all about. Messages for the collective, please. For those of you, once again, that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for showing up. And for those of you that are brand new to my channel, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope everybody receives exactly what it is that they need from this. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see and show me now for the collective. Anyone going through a hard time, anyone needing encouragement, anyone needing to hear from their relatives that have crossed over, and show me now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the jumper. I have the 7 of Brooms here. This is a need to be a little bit on the defensive, or maybe perhaps is saying that you have been defensive. And we're going to lay it exactly the way that came out. I also have the Moon. I've got the Chariot. And I have the Wheel of Fortune. Actually, those are like fantastic cards. Oh my goodness. I'm like, where are my stands? Where are the stands when you need them? So with the Moon, I'm going to say that the Moon is an energy of everything hidden. Good grief. Of subtle intuition. Maybe not so subtle intuition. Maybe you're having a hard time sleeping. Maybe you're getting kind of like different... I'm getting like different messages and dreams. Things that typically do not happen to you. Has been a thing lately. Okay. So, in other words, if you're able to sleep, you've never had a problem sleeping, then your sleep all of a sudden is disturbed, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place this Wheel of Fortune in the center just because it appears like that's where it would belong. Now, you could be having these like dreams and you're curious about them. You're like, well, what does that mean? I dreamt with so-and-so, or I'm having these downloads and don't really understand what is going on. Okay, and I feel like maybe this is saying that perhaps for some of you guys, your guard is up. And it kind of waffles. I think that sometimes you're kind of open to this and sometimes you're not. But what I see here, most of all, is that your ancestors are saying if you've been going through a hard time, if you've been going through it, this is almost like an imprint on the universe. Things are going to get better for you. Okay, so to continue studying, continue journaling, continue working on yourself. Okay, work on yourself and allow this wheel to turn, because when it does, you are going to be up and up. That means that finances should be improving. Relationships should be improving. You're also going to be getting the wisdom and the clarity as well. You could have a deep connection to Egypt. You could be starting to have like some hobbies. Maybe you're somebody who has snakes as pets, or I heard catch and release, so whatever that means to you. And I almost feel like even though this is a little creature laying down, kind of reading a book, I heard autobiography. For some of you guys, you're reading autobiography right now. And if you are, that's confirmation. That's all that this is. I feel like also at a glance, this seems to be like laying down, kind of daydreaming, a little bit thinking about things. Also, the ancestors are saying that there's a tendency to think about things as black and white. So be careful with that line of thinking. And I feel like that's what makes you a little bit defensive, a little bit like, well, you know, is it for my benefit or is it not? Do I defend myself? Do I not? Okay, that kind of a thing. So if you look here, these beautiful cards, I love them. This is, it's called the Get Out Tarot by Alice Smeets. And it's an incredible deck that she created with, I believe it was like Haitians. She went and collaborated with another creative team, and it's basically whatever they had on hand and they were able to make on hand. So nothing was like prefabbed or anything else. If they had it within their house, basically that's what they wore or embodied to be able to bring about these cards. And it reminds me so much of Puerto Rico. That's why I love them. So anyways, the Chariot, I digress. So the Chariot is going to be movement. It could be some of you guys are buying a vehicle. It could be some of you guys are going to get an unexpected visitor, but there's a lot of subtle things going on in the subtle realms. Now, I said realms, okay? So I have two doors right here, and we've got the quintessential like wolf and dog. And it's like, okay, well, what about loyalty? What about, you know, because the dog is seen as like being loyal, the defender, and the companion of man. Things like that. And maybe you're questioning, well, who's the wolf and who is the dog? And maybe perhaps you have people in your life that you're kind of like in doubt about right now. Now, the moon in this case looks to me a little bit on the sad end, kind of like, not saddened to be a moon, but you could be doing a lot of reflecting on the past, a lot of reflecting maybe perhaps about people that left your path, left your life. I heard organization. So maybe perhaps there's been an organization that you parted ways with, or vice versa. And you are being told right here that things are definitely working out in your favor, even though they feel like hell right now, okay? So I definitely want to give you that encouragement. Bottom of the deck, okay? This is the Relative Tarot, I believe. Let's see, I'm not sure what the box is. Anyway, so this is the Ace of Cups, and I want to tell you that your ancestors are saying that you definitely have a lot of overflowing emotion and gifts to share with the world. And what that basically means too is you want to be able to give with love, with gentleness, with peace. You want to have communion, because I see like communion. I'm sorry about the creaking chair. It's just the way my chair is. So you want to have communion with others in a manner that just brings about peace. So this is beyond money and blood, okay? This could be definitely about family of choice. Now, I'm going to say that you're going to have an offer seemingly coming out of nowhere, okay? That's going to bring about, and I feel like intuitively you know it. I feel like intuitively you understand that the Wheel of Fortune is changing for you. And things are definitely just different for you as of right now. I think that you're getting subtle hits. Also, you could be connecting with other people on the astral realm. Even if you're not like quite somebody who believes in like astral projection or anything like that, it could be simply that you are connecting without, like you could be connecting while you're sleeping, or while you're kind of like not meditating, but I get the sense of kind of, you know, when you're like, I call it a trance, and it's a form of meditation, but when you kind of zone out and you're a little bit like, oh, where'd I go? I have no idea what I was thinking about. And that could be done by just focusing on one thing just easily, and then you just completely appear to tune out. All right, so I feel like you're definitely connecting with your ancestors, and you're connecting, I feel like, with even your tribe, with other people, with people that bring about this emotional gratification. Is it symbiotic? I need to learn my words, but anyways, I feel like this is definitely a gift, and it's like an enrichment. Like you enrich other people's lives and they enrich yours. And there's many streams that cause like overflowing of emotion. And if you're not feeling that right now, I feel like you guys, you're astral connecting. Is that even a term? It is now. but you're definitely connecting on the astral plane simply because I see it, okay? Things are getting better. Also, you might be questioning your aim, okay? We have Anubis just lighting on the wheel. And your advice is basically the more you focus on the center and the less you focus on what's going on around you, and maybe that's a key. Let's focus on like a soft diffused lens for the outer world and more focus on pinpointing and on the inner world. And that is going to really, really help you with maintaining balance, with having that kind of relaxed, okay, when things come up, I'm ready for it and I'm here for it, but I'm not going to get overly disturbed, overly jolted. My cage is not going to be rattled, okay? I feel like there's definitely people around or things around that want to rattle your cage and your confidence, by the way. I feel like maybe your confidence kind of waffles a little bit at this point in time. And I just want to assure you, like, everybody's confidence can waver. Even the person that you think is the most confident person, like, yeah, they could be confident, but believe you me, it's not 24/7. In the same way that you're not hungry 24/7. Okay, maybe some of us are. But and the same way that you're not, you know, feeling any one thing 24/7. People are not confident 24/7. So they're not confident 24/7. People are not, even this person where she's like, what do you mean, me? And I feel like you could be seen as somebody who's like fierce, maybe even confident, super confident yourself. And that's an incredible characteristic to have. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, nobody can embody any one emotion 24/7. It just doesn't work. Unless, like, sometimes I like to play around and say, well, you touched my one feeling, you know, I just have one. But that's definitely a lie. It's definitely a joke. So I'm going to say that you also have a very heavy feminine presence from your family. From the other side. I feel like blue could be very significant. Like if you wear blue to meditate, that would be a great idea at this point in time. But I would definitely be careful because that could make you a little bit over emotional. So I would kind of, you know, temper that. Don't wear it all day, I would say, if you work in the medical profession or with other people or other people around you are very emotional, or you have to be the balance of, okay, you have to be the voice of reason. Definitely stay away from blue unless you are like meditating, communing with spirit or in prayer or meditation, whatever it is that you call it, okay? Oh gosh. So I flip my card, and under the deck I have Four of Wands. This has to do with your home. This has to do with balance. Has to do with four corners of your home. What makes things balance? What makes things in harmony? In harmony, I heard, okay? So I feel like you want a harmonious connection. Then I have the King of Cups. So this can be a man or male energy, okay? Somebody who maybe used to date dream quite a bit. So I feel like this is an ancestor that you would have caught kind of, I don't want to say elusive, but just a little bit like looking like they're thinking about something completely different. This person looks to me like he can belong in a, what do you call it? I get aviation vibes, okay? I get strong, like, old school airplane vibes. But this person could have been someone who's, like, very well established, very well emotional, connected emotionally to other people as well. I've got the King of Wands right here representing. So known as a mover and the shaker. I feel like this is a grandfather or great-great-grandfather or something like that, or just a very strong male energy, even if it was female. Now this person could have been like a mover and a shaker and a candlestick maker. I feel like even with his legs crossed here, he could have looked at life in a different way. Like really, I get hangman energy, almost like the ability to look at things and to contemplate, go within and contemplate, check out sometimes. Even when you're around them, they could have just been musing over things. It's been seen almost like mentally, emotionally, very, very far away. And then they would reel themselves back to the presence. And this person is, you know, constantly moving, forging their own world. A little bit of a devil-may-care attitude. They could have had a lot of like influence in the community. Two of Cups right here. I feel like this is somebody you got along with quite well. Okay. Very well. Somebody that you would have looked up to, older, maybe a patriarch of the family, that kind of a thing. Okay. Oh yeah, this is, look, definitely family. And with that, please hold. All right. So I did pull a card from a different deck. Actually, it was just a bottom of the deck card. This one is going to be from the Guardian of the Night Tarot by M.J. McCullinane. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now, this is the card that came out for you. And if this has resonated, please do smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. So we have the Knight of Wands, and this tells me that you could be a little bit in between two worlds as far as your energy goes. You could be like, let me just rush in and conquer things and let me just get things done because things need to get done. I'm also hearing, well, who else, if not I, is going to do it? And I can well resonate with that. It's like, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done, that kind of a thing. But you want to be careful not to be hasty. Now's the time for measured action. And I'm actually going to read you the energy because I feel like this is your energy that needs to be embodied within this situation or at this point in time, okay? Because things appear, you know, there feels to be a lot of things going on with your family or family matters right now and the stability of your own foundation. So the Knight of Wands is adventurous, maybe even a bit overly so at times. He does not sit in the sidelines of fellows waiting for the world to come to him. When the knight appears, for swiftness, decision, action has arrived, and there is no time for delay. However, the energy this card offers can be conflicting. For success, you'll need to strike the perfect balance between persistence and arrogance, between the go-getter and being a bully. A situation may have you feeling like you're being pulled in two different directions. There's a charming, passionate side that creates a magnetic enthusiasm that builds support for an idea or a purpose. Then there's the arrogant, overly ambitious, restless side that jeopardizes tearing down what the charming and passionate side has built. When the Knight of Wands is present, you can be your own worst enemy. Are you confident in your plans? Or are you giving off a cocky, conceited vibe that in the end will turn off those who support you? He will give you the sureness of fake it till you make it and advise you to create an image in your mind of the person you want to become. Be creative, be bold, dig deep, and find the courage to play the part because things will fall into place when you do. If your goal is to be a leader at your job, behave the way a leader you would admire would act. It's all about walking the talk. For the first time in about 100 years, Wolverine has returned to Mount Rainier with less than 1,000 Wolverines in the lower 48 states. This is pretty exciting. It also means that we still have pockets of land that can support these beautiful creatures. When you need a little extra kick of tenacity or grit, when you need to be fearless, call upon the Wolverine with his thick, dense, low center of gravity body. This creature will help you reclaim your balance and connect you to Earth's nurturing energy. So I thought that was really quite appropriate because it seems to me, you know, between being defensive and having to hold your standards and something about, you know, maybe you're the person taking care of family and whatnot. I feel like your ancestors are saying, you know, things are working for the better, even though they don't appear that way. It is a time to go back to your roots, to find your center of gravity. And this Wolverine's like pretty close to the ground as well. Just be grounded at this point in time, even though you have that fire in your belly, especially if you're a fire sign. We want to act, and we hate the waiting period. We hate the hush. I call it the hush. It could also be called the pause, right? Whatever you want to call it. But this period of inactivity is actually for things to really take time to gestate. Even for you to be able to kind of grow through things, to be able to heal. Self-care is going to be very, very important at this time. So whether you decide to get like a massage or read a book or kind of withdraw your energy a little bit from being so action-oriented, And I hate saying that because it just puts me in a position where, frankly, I'm like, what do you mean relax? I can't even spell relax. What do you mean? But relax. Yeah. So relax just the same way that Anubis is allowing things just to kind of unfold, knowing that everything, every cycle in life, there's an up and a down, and enjoying your home life, enjoying the four walls, the four corners of your home. I see even puzzles. Some of you guys are doing like puzzles. You're like thinking about riddles and puzzles and things like that. So that might be a thing for some of you. For some of you is taking up like dancing, even if you're dancing in your home, and looking up for videos to help you more connect with your body and things like that. But that's going to be really, really important. And your ancestors are even saying, for some of you guys, your ancestors really didn't have a lot as far as material goes, but there was a lot of laughter. They enjoyed tasty things. They enjoyed time together. Like, they really savored the moments. And so you're being led to savor the moments. Now, a good tip for you also is going to be to definitely wear a lot more green if you're able to. That's going to help your heart chakra to be wide open and also to heal. Maybe even some yellow. People have a hard time wearing yellow. I totally understand that. But it's really a good time to address like your solar plexus and your heart chakra, because all of those things are being affected at this point in time, right? And so your ancestors are saying, don't worry, even though it seems like everything is black and white and people have answers that really don't match or contradictory to what your own spirit is saying and what your own ancestors are saying. Just be a little bit more patient. Do your own studying, your own fact finding. Don't take what a friend of a friend of a friend says for a fact. Definitely look things up yourself, the old school way. Okay, so if you know, you know. But I'm getting a lot of like wisdom being shared with you from spirit and from your ancestors. So know that they are definitely here for you. Let's take a last card just because we can. Okay. So show me what I need to see for the collective here. Show me what I need to see that could be helpful and healing for the collective. And show me now. Oh, we're taking 2 cards because that's how we do. Divine order. Archangel Raguel. Raguel? I don't know. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past illusion and see the underlying order. Things are being put in balance and in order, even though they might seem radically out of order. You might be looking at it from a black and white perspective. And you're being led to trust in the process a little bit and trust that things will become clear very soon for you as well. Leadership. Angel Gabriel. It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. And look, it's almost like she like dropped this trumpet and she's a little bit startled. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm laughing because when I saw that, I'm like, that's not what I expected from this reading. What is going on here? I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I feel like my guides and my ancestors are a little bit like a jab at me. I'm like, what do you mean lead? I'm very busy doing non-leading things. I'm very busy doing my own world things. What do you mean lead? Okay, give me just one moment here. See, my ancestors don't have it easy with me at all. So if you have a hard time like listening, it's almost like you know in your gut what needs to be done. And it's almost like even with that trumpet either falling or gliding into your hand, really depends on your perspective, right? I feel like there's a measure of like, what are you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about? So we're going to read from the Archangel Oracle cards by Dorian Virtue. Archangel Gabriel, it's time for you to assume your leadership, power, and position and lovingly guide others. Additional message: embrace your power in a loving way. Use it for the greater good. I'll guide your actions so that they inspire and motivate others. I'll also replace any self-doubt about your qualifications with an increased desire to serve, help, and teach. When your focus is more on how I may serve, then you won't worry what others may think about you. Focus on your strengths and many lessons that you've learned and how good it feels to be a living example of following one's divine guidance. You know, that's really interesting. I love how Spirit just really tends to loop back to the whole point where I was talking about, like, maybe earlier, like confidence, and how not everybody is self-confident 24/7, even though they portray it. And leaders have to be appearing stoic and confident every second of the moment. Otherwise, you have like tigers pounce and things like that. But I love how Spirit brings it back to this and addresses that. I'll replace any self-doubt about your qualifications with an increased desire to serve, help, and teach. And honestly, I mean, like, who am I to even help, serve, and teach? But I have a deep desire to like help and to serve people, to help bring them back to themselves and help them connect more with Spirit and with their ancestors and what their divine calling is. And so I have that desire, and it's a burning desire, and I get a ton of activity right now. My crown chakra, some of you guys are having that same desire, and you're thinking, well, like, who am I, and who like qualified me, and whatever. Well, you know what? Spirit qualified you. That's who. And you need a PhD and a bachelor's degree and whatever. All of these letters behind your name. Do you need that? No, you don't even necessarily need your name. You just have you. And so whatever it is that you're passionate about, whether it's like feeding the homeless or making a home for them, or, you know, serving your community, whatever way, shape, form, capacity, that burning desire has been given and imparted upon you. It's almost like taking a star from heaven and shoving it in your chest. So delicate. Anyways, but shoving it in your heart so that there's nothing else but that one burning desire that you have, okay? And if that's you, then I feel like this reading is completely for you. Just know that this does have and deals with family issues, but it also deals with your lineage. And you were born, I heard, and bred to lead. And some of us think like, oh, when you talk about lineage, and 1212 can have a special meaning. By the way, I just looked at my clock. But when some of us talk or hear about lineage, we think, oh, the royalty, and oh, this, and, you know, everything in this world is so fake. It's unreal. And I don't want to laugh, but it's funny. It's like we just pedestal things that are not important, you know. And it's great to have beautiful homes and shoes and beautiful hair and the best skincare and be able to embody other personas and act. And it's great to have, you know, I don't know, things that are admirable. I'm not saying that those are completely worthless, but in the end, like, when you look at what's of really true value, it's not about what people have, it's about what they can give and what they can give back. And I feel like your ancestors are saying you were born in this lifetime for a major purpose, way beyond, let me put the crown of any queen on your head. I mean, it's not about having the coolest threads and the nicest cars and the most beautiful homes. Like, you're here, your DNA is here for a more specific reason. I feel like there's a need to use your voice. And I feel like it also, what also is changing, if you've had a problem such as myself, like articulating your words, or feeling like, wow, this is like too big for me, too lofty for me, or things like that. Like, who am I? How am I, you know, qualified? Or who do you think you are? Any of those things, I feel like those things are going to be going out the window when you see the impact of you, yourself, and you serving other people, okay? And this is, again, in capacity of whatever your passion and your drive is. This is not saying, hey, you know, go out and feed the homeless or provide a haven for teens. If that is not your desire, your passion, or calling, then it's just not. You can be helping people who have like severe eczema, to be able to find a refuge and a support team, or, you know, whatever the case is, it's going to be individual for each person. But I'm going to say that here pretty soon, and I heard deep freeze, so over the winter, wherever winter is, and whatever winter is in the part of, your part of your world, and if you're not experiencing winter when you are seeing this, I feel like it's sooner than later, then I feel like it's a deep freeze of everything else in your life, okay? So take it metaphorically if that is applicable, or take it literally if that applies. But I'm going to say that you're going to come into your own here very, very soon. I feel like your voice is going to get stronger, and you are going to have a stronger presence. Now, this isn't about shouting and standing on your soapbox, or even getting on Twitter or Facebook or any of those platforms and shouting, "This is what I believe," and "come at me, bro." You know? Nothing like that. I feel like it's just going to be extremely graceful, very natural. I think that you're going to feel completely within your element. So some of you guys are about feeding people that need, you know, and have needs, need food and things like that. So whatever your thing is, healing, feeding, speaking, providing a listening ear, providing warmth, a home, or whatever, that is going to be coming even more to the forefront for you. I feel like you're getting in touch. Some of you guys belong to a tribe, like you have a current tribe, or some tribal affiliation in the traditional way. If not, it is just your tribe of people that you feel like are close to you. But I do feel like your voice is going to be extremely important. And so when you get downloads and things like that, just know that your loved ones that have departed already are with you, that you have been chosen to lead. And I really struggle with this, because I'm like, I'm not a leader of anything. I just want to be happy, and I want to travel, and I want to help people, and that's it. Like, I'm content with that. I don't have to like lead any charge to anything. But I feel like this is almost like you having a realization, and it's going to be something that is like a passion blended with your voice, blended with something completely new that you didn't even know could be integrated to be able to be of service to other people, okay, to be able to be utilized as well. So this will make you actually feel very calm, very gentle, confident, and grounded. I keep hearing grounded, okay? Some of you guys can start seeing auras as well. So that might be for one or two of you. You might have an interest and seeing auras. So that is what I have for you. I don't want to make this super long, even though it's too late for that. But much love to you. Thank you so much again for joining me, and namaste.